Today in Witnesses in Training, we're talking about boundaries and this feeling that we get that we don't know enough to share our faith. Sometimes when we think of sharing our faith with others, we get this feeling that, well, I don't know enough to share my faith. I don't know the Bible well enough. I don't know how I'm going to answer all these kinds of questions. I'm not a theologian. I'm not a pastor. I haven't gone to Bible college. I feel like I just need to study the Bible more before I share my faith. Well, yes, it's true. We do want to represent Jesus well as best as we can. And we do want to know our Bible more. There's so much more that we can know about in our Bible. There's so much more we could study. But God is sovereign and good, and He delights in doing great things, amazing things, through everyday people. We read in Acts chapter 4, verse 3, that His disciples were simple people, but they were with Jesus. It says, "Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were uneducated common men, they were astonished, and they recognized that they had been with Jesus." They were just simple men, fishermen, uneducated, and yet they'd been with Jesus, and that was enough for them to witness their faith to others. People were astonished, actually, when they preached with boldness. They said, "I know this Jesus. This is my Jesus that I know." And they shared that with the world around them. And so we just need to know one thing. Know Jesus. Know Jesus, witness Jesus. We see that the Apostle Paul, this was his focus and priority. In 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 2, he says, "For I decide to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and Him crucified." That was the one thing that he focused on, that he prioritized. He could have preached on so many different things, but his main priority was, I want to emphasize to you, Jesus Christ, His life, His death, His resurrection. That's what's really important. That's what is worth sharing with others. That's the one priority. And so here's a free, easy tip. Feel free to look it up later. You can say to someone who's asking you tough questions, say, "Well, that's a good question, and I don't fully know how I'll answer that right now, but I'm going to look into that, and how about we keep the discussion going for next time?" I think most people are okay with that kind of response, and we don't need to answer every single question on the spot. It's okay to actually have a stance of humility and say, well, we can both learn from each other, we can learn and then come back and discuss some more too. And we'll also discuss further about how to answer the hard questions in session number 6, called Hard Questions. But the main point is that it's our job to sow the seeds, and it's God's job to grow the seeds. In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6, the Apostle Paul says, "I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth. So neither he who plants nor he who waters is anything, but only God who gives the growth." We can go as we grow through faith and just start sowing the seeds, and God makes each seed grow. We just do that work of watering and sowing seeds, and who knows when God just makes that seed of faith grow. It's a miracle. And so let's not wait till we know more. Let's be doers of the word. We've heard so much. We've gone to Sunday school, to church, growing up perhaps, lots of Bible studies, and yet now it's time to be doers of the word, to step out in faith. We read in James chapter 1, verse 22, he says, "Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." Be doers of this word. Live it out. It's time to step out in faith and share the gospel, sow the seeds. Now, would you pray with me that God would send us out, and that we would sow seeds and He would bring the growth? Jesus, I thank you that you've saved us, miraculously, Lord. And we just thank you that we can know you. We don't need to know all the answers and all the responses, but we know you, and you're good, and you're worth sharing. And God, we pray that you would send us out, Lord, that we could sow the seeds of the gospel, and that people would have these seeds of faith grow in their lives, coming to know you themselves. In your name we pray. Amen.